Marco Rubio recently stated that if he's elected president, he would roll back Obama's executive orders that protect federal LGBT workers from discrimination. And furthermore, he says that he will appoint Supreme Court justices that will overturn the landmark marriage equality ruling. Specifically, he states, quote, "No one should ever be compelled to sin by law. I don't believe any case law is settled law. Any future Supreme Court can change it. And ultimately, I will appoint Supreme Court justices that will interpret the Constitution as originally constructed. It's not about discrimination. It's about the definition of a very specific traditional and age-old institution. If you want to change it, you have a right to petition your state legislator and your elected representatives to do it. What is wrong is that the Supreme Court has found this hidden constitutional right that 200 years of jurisprudence had not discovered and basically overturned the will of voters in Florida, where over 60% passed a constitutional amendment that defined marriage in the state constitution as the union of one man and one woman. Now, he also expressed that he would appoint Supreme Court justices that would overturn the Roe versus Wade ruling as well and basically ban abortion effectively. Now, he also expressed a concern that pastors should not be forced to marry same-sex couples. But this has not happened. If you are a same-sex couple and you go into a church, they can reject you, and they have done this multiple times. But Marco Rubio is not concerned about reality. He's concerned about a political ideology that is, frankly, it's outdated, even among Republican voters. So to be president and to not understand this fact is potentially detrimental to his campaign. So he also does not realize the fact that our Constitution is based off of Madisonian principles. So the fact that 60% of Floridian voters don't want marriage equality doesn't mean anything. It's not important because we don't vote on minority rights. We have a Madisonian oriented democracy because we protect the minority from majority tyranny. So if for whatever reason we voted to reinstitute the institution of slavery, that sounded really redundant, but if we wanted to bring back slavery and a majority of Americans voted for it, well, it doesn't matter because we have to protect the rights of the minority. Now, furthermore, same-sex marriage is not a hidden right. It is one of the many rights that emanate out of the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Now, what he doesn't realize is that the right for us to have interracial marriages emanated out of the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment in 1967 in the case of Loving v. Virginia. So by his own logic, he's saying that we should be against interracial marriage because for about 150 years, that right was not found in the Constitution. Would you be against that, Marco Rubio? Are you against interracial marriage? You know, he's not worried about the institution of marriage. What he's worried about is pandering to the most ignorant Republican voters. And he wants to throw gay people under the bus to do that. Well, guess what? That ship has sailed. Move on. Your party needs to move on. You need to move on. Being homophobic is not something that is going to make you any more electorally viable. Now, unfortunately, it's the case that being xenophobic and racist will make you electorally viable. If you look at Donald Trump, it's not going to win you the White House, but it'll give you a boost because Republican primary voters love that type of stuff. But being homophobic, that's something that is not a smart strategy if you want to win. I mean, if you get to the general election, do you think that by isolating all the Republican voters with gay and lesbian and transgender friends and family and bisexual members of their family, do you think isolating them is going to help you win? It's not. It's not, and it's just a stupid strategy. So you need to move on. That ship has sailed, and you sound like an old fart. So congratulations by catering to the dumbest and oldest proportion of Republican voters who are dying off. So good on you, Marco Rubio. Pretty smart.